Okay, welcome to lesson 3, where we're going to add some high scores, some lives and some general scoring into our game. But as the game currently stands, we've got our wall randomly moving towards us with the gap moving up and down, but there aren't any collisions, and there aren't any rules to our game. So if I go to Control and E, I can put a new condition in, and it'll be a condition on the active object. It can be a collision, and it can be a collision with another object. We're used to doing all of these, and we'll pick the wall. So we've got a collision, but that collision won't actually do anything at the moment. So let's go back to Control and M. We might as well start putting in some of our objects. So you might be in all objects. You now need to go to Game, and we might as well put in our lives. So we put lives there, and we might as well also, whilst we're there, put in the score. So we've got our high score on we've got our scores and our lives rating, but they're not going to do anything until we sort of program something in. So I'll go to Control and E. So now I've said if there's a collision between my bird and the wall, I need to reduce the player's lives. So I need to go to player. So it's always going to be done, and lives are always going to be taken off the player. So I right click, set number of lives, subtract from the number of lives, and we'll take one off. And click OK. So now if I press F8 to play the game, I'm flying through the gaps, I'm OK. As soon as I hit the wall, I've lost a life, now they've all gone. The only problem is the game continues. So really speaking, we need to do a condition so that if the number of lives are all gone, end the application. So we can do that by putting in a new rule on the player. So I don't think we've done a player rule before. So I'll right click the player. When number of lives reaches 0, we can go to the storyboard control, and we can say end the application. So now if I run the game, 1 life gone, 2, the 3rd life goes, the application ends. Okay, so we've perhaps not the best way to end the game, but we've got an ending. So how do you score in Flappy Birds? That's a question I can hear you all asking yourselves. And so I think Flappy Birds is more of a survival game. So what we should do is your score should go up for every second you last in the game. So that's quite an easy way to put scores in. So I'll click the timer. So we need new condition. And I'm going to the timer, and I'm going to say every 1 second will do. Every 1 second, I'm going to say score, add the score, and the score will be 1. So now if I run my game, whilst I'm surviving in the game, I'm okay. The clock is ticking, I'm up to 5, I've lost a life, bang, the game ends. But I don't really know what I scored. But we have created a scoring system, we have created a lives system. So let's put a high score system in, but I prefer to put a high score system on a new frame so that we can start to add a menu structure to our game. So if we go to the main part of our game, right click and do a new frame, it'll put frame 2 there for us. I'll call this one high score. Double click high score, and we're presented with a blank screen. We can change the color to something else, and I'm going to right click, insert object, make sure I'm on games, and we go high score. I click there, and I can make it a bit bigger. So there's my high score table waiting to be used, but that high score table doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really go anywhere. So I need to go back to your original frame and Control E. And this time, when the number of lives reaches 0, we don't want to end the application, so I'll delete that. We need to jump to a frame. We could say next frame. I prefer to say what frame to jump to, so we jump to frame 2. So now if I press F8, I'll allow the score to build up for a little bit. And now I'll start to lose some lives. And put my name in. And you see 11, my name got added there. And now the game is just waiting for something to happen. So the question is, how do we restart the game? You don't really want to go to the options and start again. We want to be able to press a key, and that's quite easily done. But a trick that I fell for, a mistake I fell for, I put the condition on this screen. We need to put the condition on our high score screen. So if you go to high score, go to high score, press Control E, new condition. It'll be a keyboard condition. And when a player presses the letter R, what we want to do, we want to use the storyboard, we want to jump to a frame, and we want to jump back to frame 1. We want to start the game again. So now if I press F8, I'll scored 3 points. It's jumped ahead, but it hasn't given me a chance to enter my score. But I can press R to play. So it's not worked as well as we would have liked. So there's obviously a bit of a problem in the game. So let's have a look where we've gone wrong today. So what I'm saying is jump to frame number 1. I could change that to restart the application. If you notice, I've got 2 in there, so you've always got to delete 1. So delete, jump to frame number 1. So if I press F8, now to start the game. Let's have a look. 1, 2, the game ends. The game's ending, but it's not giving me the opportunity to enter a high score. Probably because I need to score more. Let's have a look. I'd probably got to score enough to get myself on the high score table. That's what was actually going wrong. So there's a bit of troubleshooting. I'd put in test, and you can see I scored 7 that time. So I didn't really need to change that condition. What I needed to do was get myself onto the high score. These are little things in your programming you need to watch out for. But if I press the letter R now, it's restarted the game. So I need to score at least 7 points to get myself on the board. I think 11 was the highest. So okay, so I can now allow myself to dive, and I'll put in test number 1. And I click OK, and there's my score. And now I press R to restart, and the game restarts. So we've put a number of things into our game. We leave it there for now, and in the last game we'll just finish off with some final touches to make the game a bit more playable and to package our game up. Thank you very much.